Welcome back, everybody. We got another product review for you today, and it's going to be on a product I'm very excited about. And this particular product isn't necessarily garden related, but it is definitely garden related. So this is something that I would really recommend everybody in our current times and day and age that we live in now. This is something that everybody should really have on their property or even in their apartments. When I lived in an apartment, I had one of these systems basically set up with the VCR system. And I was doing it all the way back in the 90s. So yeah, this is something that I definitely recommend for you guys to at least check out and look into. So anyway, we are going to review this particular product today. And I will show it to you like that. And it's basically a full package surveillance system. It's a CCTV system. This particular box is giving you 4 cameras. It says 5-in-1 DVR. So you get, it says 5-in-1, but I see 4 cameras on it. I'm not sure what they're saying the 5-in-1 is, but you get the 4 cameras, I believe. We're going to open it up and look at it. And you get what's known as a DVR. It's not a VCR or anything like that. It's a digital video recorder. And basically it's just like a board that takes a hard drive, if you will, and I believe nowadays you can hold up to like 4 terabytes of disk space, which gives you like an enormous amount of record time before it starts looping. But that's basically all that is, the DVR. But you need a DVR. You can do like cloud recording as well. I don't know if they offer you that service. So if somebody breaking into your house just unplugs the cameras and pulls the DVR out, I don't know if it continues to record onto a cloud system. So there are systems out there that supposedly do that. But anyway, let's open this up, see what's in the box. So basically, you're going to open it. It's going to look like this. And you're going to have some boxes in there. You can get it out. I'm doing it like with my hands on there. So you take that out, you got that, and then you got that, and then there's nothing left in the box. Just throw the box on the side. And then let's see what this first box is. Now don't throw all your boxes out. Definitely keep your boxes. I'm just doing this for the video. And then put everything back into that box the way you took it out. That way, if there is a problem, you need to exchange it or return it or something, you can do it with that. Now, you take this box here, which is box number 1. This is going to have the cameras in it. And what I like about these newer cameras as opposed to the cameras that I used to get back in the 90s, early 2000s is they're all made out of plastic nowadays, whereas the old ones used to be made out of metal. And oftentimes you would think metal is better, but it's not necessarily better, especially when you're outdoors, because the weather gets to them, they start to corrode. A lot of the cameras that were made from way back then were made with like a pressed type of pot metal, if you will. And you go to take it apart to work on a camera or maybe clean it, and the parts would just break on you. So these are plastic basically, and you're not going to have to worry about them breaking if you have to take them down to clean them. Do you need to clean them all the time? No, but there are times you're just going to want to take it off and clean it up. Maybe they're going to paint your soffits or something on your house, so you need to get them out of the way. So you're going to have to be able to remove them. But the old metal ones that I used to use, they used to break. So that's good that they use plastic. Plus, they're very light. There's no weight on these. So you don't have to worry about a weight problem. So yes, they give you that. It looks like they give you a couple stickers here. So they give you a couple of stickers. What's the purpose of the stickers? You're just letting the people that are trespassing on your property or about ready to do something they shouldn't be doing know that you're on camera if they don't already know that. And yeah, you're protected by their service. Again, some of these services actually offer a 24-hour monitoring. I'm not sure if they do. They might. We'll see. We'll try to see if we can find that and look that up. This is basically just the wires that they give you. So these are plug-and-play wires. So basically, I'll just show you really quick. Basically, you got the ends here. This is called the BNC connector right here. That's a male side. And then for the power supply, it's just basically an atypical, I don't know what they call these connections, just a regular plug for like you got it in a you know, power supply adapter. It's just, I don't know what they call those. It's just a regular push-in type. So BNC connectors are basically like a twist lock, and you just push that together like this, right? And then turn it, and then you're locked, right? And then for the power supply, it's just a push and plug power. You're good. What I do is after I put everything in place, oftentimes what I do is I stuff all these wires, you know, the excess wire back up inside the eaves of the house or wherever, and it's getting concealed and buried. But what I often do is I'll take either duct tape or electrical tape, and I'll make these connections, you know, complete. Because if you start pulling on them, if you got to take it out, sometimes they unplug, and now you got to. It's a lot of work. It's not fun to go through that. But and I fish these wires through walls, which is also a lot of work as well. But you don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, I just put tape on them and I seal them up just to make sure that they don't come apart. So yeah, this box here is for all the wires. You get two power supplies, and you get two power supplies. You're getting 4 of these wire things, and it looks like these are probably about 100 feet. They might be 70 feet, but they look like they're probably 100 feet. That's like standard. So you can set your DVR here and then run your wires, or whatever wires you're going to run, all the way to the other side of the house. You're going to get another one of these cables. It looks like this is a HDMI. Yeah, this is HDMI. This is for a monitor. If you want to use a monitor, you don't have to. You can do all this probably from your phone. You're giving you an Ethernet cable. And they're giving you the spiders that you need for these are the spiders for your power supplies. So you basically plug this spider. Looks like there's only one. They give you one power supplies for the DVR, the other one's for the cameras. One, you know, you plug in the spiders for your, you know, for one of these, and picks up the cameras. That's basically what all that is. And I mean, guys, you could literally hook this up in like 5 minutes. I could do it on camera, but I don't want the video to be like hours long. I want to try to just do the unboxing, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's set up. I don't know if I'm going to actually wait to hook it up outdoors, because it's just going to take a lot to do that. I might just set it up on here and then show you the cameras how they work. And then here, of course, is the DVR. Now, I've got a lot of experience with surveillance systems, believe it or not, so I do know what I'm talking about. These modern systems are very simple compared to the stuff that I used to have to go through. I mean, I love these things, guys. These are absolutely, all right, I'd have to take this apart. So this does not come with a hard drive. I got to read the specs on the size of the drive. When I come back, I'll give you all of the details on it. But basically, you're going to put a hard drive inside of here. Usually, nowadays, it's anywhere between 1 terabyte, and some of these DVRs I've seen now are as much as 8 or even 10 or 16 terabytes. Because they're making these hard drives that can hold so much capacity. It's crazy. And then here's the back of it. And let's see here. Okay, so you got your power. You got 2 USBs here. It looks like you got your Ethernet here. And then you got your DVR here. You got your HDMI cable for your monitor. And then they give you a VGA connection here. I'm not 100% sure what that's for. I guess that you're an option for an old school monitor. You can hook up to that. You also have ports here for sound. Just be careful with sound. Just make sure you're living in a state where it's I believe, a one-party state and not a two-party state. You have state and federal laws that prevent you from recording audio. So you need to look into the audio part. I generally don't record audio, except for my Ring Cam that I have. But generally, with like any of these surveillance systems, I generally don't record audio, but that's up to you. They give you the option to do it. I'm not sure if the cameras are equipped for it. So again, this does not have a hard drive in it. At least I don't believe it does. No, there's no hard drive in it. Generally, if you put the hard drive in here, you can see the holes for it. You're gonna mount the hard drive to that and hook it up. It's that simple, guys. This is like 15 minutes you're hooked up. The only thing that's going to take you a little bit of time is pulling these wires. either through the wall, or you can set them up where you just leave them on the outside of the walls if you want. For me, I pull them through the walls. You're going to have to make a bigger hole for this. It's not like regular cable because you got ends on here. Make sure you tape a bag around the ends of these. What I do is I take a sandwich bag, I put them over the end, I tape it up really tight, and then I hook my snake up to here, a fish snake, a fish tape or a fish snake for pulling wire, and then I very carefully I bring that through the holes. That's the best way if you're going to pull it through the walls. If you're in a ranch style house, you can bring all your cables up to the attic and just run all your cables in the attic, which can be exposed, and just pop down the camera wherever you want those cameras to be, out where your soffits are, and then just drop the wires out at the end of your soffits, and then you can just do the camera work and mounting of the cameras outside. It's really that simple, guys. And you might not even want to do that. You might be able to set the cameras up right, right like that. So this is it. This is the whole system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up, and I'm going to try to get it basically all set up. And then what I'll do is I'll bring you back, and I'll talk about all the little details and nuances. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, guys. I just want to show you that we did get it hooked up. It took me about 20 minutes to hook it up, but I had to kind of get through a little bit of a hurdle, small things for me, because I'm testing the equipment as well. It's not just a matter of getting it up and running, but I had to test certain things on it. And so it took me about 20 minutes to get that done. But realistically, if I wanted, I could have had this thing literally hooked up in probably like 5 minutes. But yeah, you got to enter passwords. You got to download the apps. There's a bunch of things involved that does take time. However, the actual hardware part of it hooks up very quickly. I had that done. This was done in like 5 minutes. So as you can see, I got a monitor set up here, and I got your screens. Now, I didn't realize that when I was first showing you the unboxing part of the video, that this is actually an 8-camera system, but they give you 4. So you can actually expand. You order another 4 more cameras if you want 8. And it's as simple as that. You can just add 4 more cameras, and you will have to order another power supply. I believe it comes with the power supply. I'm not sure, but if the camera doesn't come with the wire harness and the power supply, you got to make sure you get that. I think it does. If you buy another 4 cameras, it probably comes as a kit, as an upgrade kit. So what you're looking at here is just the main screen here, and then you have around the edges here. You can see that you have all your other cameras. You can view all 8 cameras if you want to, and basically you can set them up and move them around wherever you want. I just kind of threw them together here. You can see I'm just plugged that one from there to there. They generally tell you not to do that while it's on. They want you to shut the power off. But I have to do this for demonstration purposes. You're fine. It's not going to hurt nothing. All right, so that's what you got right there. Now, I'm going to show you on here really quick what the inside of this part looks like and how you would set up. There's really not a lot. You got to take the cover off the top. There's a couple screws on the side, on each side. Basically, what you're going to do here, and I want you to watch the screen up here. When you look really closely at the screen, okay? Hopefully you can see that. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm showing you what we got on the screen using this camera instead of me taking the camera off there. So what we got here is you have the hard drive here. This is a 320 gig. I didn't look to see the total capacity of it, but it's probably like a terabyte or as many as 4 terabytes. I'm not sure what the capacity is. Do you need to have 4 terabytes of storage capacity? No, because what happens is it ends up looping. So it'll just keep recording over the same thing over and over. However, if you're doing this for a larger area, like if you have a warehouse or something like that, and you're not always there, you're probably going to want to get a much larger capacity so you can store longer periods of time. So this is generally, this system, I believe, is recording in 1080p. And I'm just showing you the motherboard here. It's got a regular battery in there. This is a very simple device. You're gonna when you put in your hard drive, you're gonna have to put these 2 wires here, right? You gotta put those 2. One's this is SATA, and this is just your power. It's like anything else. And that's it, really. I mean, there's nothing else really to know here. I'm not going to get into the circuitry, though. I am an electrician, not an electrician, electronics. Have an electronics engineering background, so I understand the components that I'm looking at here. And some of these components here are actually pretty high quality components in this particular system. So I do like what I see here. This isn't junk, by the way. And so that is that. I just want to show you the back really quick here. I'm going to go back you out a little bit, just like that. So yeah, you have your VGA connection here. This is my test monitors when I test these CCTV systems. I use this monitor to do it. Yes, I buy and sell CCTV systems from time to time for certain customers, and I do install them for them. I don't do it as much anymore, but I do it. I do have a background in this. So, again, it's an 8-camera system. As you can see down here, you got a row on top and you got a row on the bottom. We're plugged in all 4 cameras that they gave me on the top. The very bottom is an extra 4. So if you want to expand this to 8 cameras, you can do it. However, keep in mind that your hard drive capacity needs to increase at least double than what I'm got here now. So if you're just using 1 terabyte, then go with 2 terabytes if you could fit it in here. Offhand, I don't know what the capacity is on this. I tried to look for it really quick, but I didn't see it. So there's your Ethernet connection, and there's a mouse. This does come with a mouse, by the way. They do give you a mouse. They don't give you the monitor, but they do give you the mouse. And that's it. You get your power supply. Here's your connections over here. Those are your basic connections. You see there's wires all over the floor. I had to hook this up really quick. And basically, that's basically it, guys. I mean, there's really not a whole lot going on with that. Now, I'm going to show you the app really quick. Okay, so that's the app. As you can see, is it showing up on there? Where are we? Which one of these is it? Okay. All right, so over here, you can see my hand. Right? It's showing up on the screen. It also shows up on the cell phone. And the great thing about this, guys, is what I've learned about surveillance systems and CCTV systems. They are a little bit intrusive, personally speaking, because they make you basically have you're allowing them full access to be able to access your router, your monitor, and so there's a lot of things in there I'm not comfortable with per se, but I don't keep CCTV cameras in my house per se. On the outside of my house, I don't care. It's public domain anyway. Everybody can see what's going on the outside of your house. So I got nothing to hide on the outside of my house. I don't really care. Whether somebody sees me pulling in my car or anything, I don't really care. But yes, it is. You do have to allow the system to be able to access your router and so on and so on. So, there's a lot of privacy concerns associated with that. But again, the camera system is basically set up outdoors, so you really shouldn't be that concerned on it because you're not in your underwear or anything like that, so you don't worry about that. As far as like what you do on your property, I mean, you're probably not doing anything that anybody else can't see on your property, so you're okay with that. But yes, you do got to allow them access to it. Now, that's the only trade-off I can see with any kind of camera system like this. That's the only trade-off I see. The benefits to having a system like this, number one, is that you have surveillance on your property all the time. And I'll give you a quick scenario that happened to me some years back. So I was having a problem with, it looked like somebody was coming up and they were doing something in the front of my house that I'm not going to say what it was, but they were doing something in the front of my house, and I started to notice that I didn't notice it was somebody doing it. I just noticed something was going on, and so I started to say in my head, this is very possible. This could be my neighbor doing something here. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm already blaming someone. Like, yeah, it's probably him because I had that argument about that front of my house over here, and blah 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 blah, and they're moving something around, and it's probably them. And so at that time, I didn't have my surveillance system hooked up. I was newly moved in there, and I just was recently getting to know the neighbors and stuff like that. It's a long story. But it turned out that I hooked up my surveillance system later on, and I did catch somebody doing something in the front of my house. However, it wasn't who I thought it was. And so the moral of that story is that without surveillance on your property, you could sit there and run your gears all day long, saying, "Oh, it's my neighbor. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. It's the guy's dog's going and digging up holes in my garden. Turns out it's a rabbit, not the guy's dog." And now you're yelling at somebody else because you think it was them and you don't have proof. When you have surveillance on your property, you know everything that's going on. I can monitor if I walk outside and I see something looks like it's not right or it's out of place that I'm used to seeing all the time, I have a system now I can look back at and I can review that. And I've done that many, many times, and it's really kind of saved my butt a few times from embarrassing myself and thinking it had to have been that guy, it had to have been this neighbor, it had to have been this, and it wasn't. So for me, I can't live without a camera system. I absolutely have to have a camera system. And so I do have several surveillance systems installed on my property because I do test them and everything. But this particular system that you're looking at now, I am going to hook up, and it's going to monitor my garden 24/7. So this is going to be set up specifically for the garden. I have cables that are ran out for it now, and it's going to monitor it, and then I could be able to watch everything that's going on in my garden. It's not just because I think there might be people back there, but there's a lot of animals that are like possibly going in and around my garden. I got to see what's going on. And the animals never go there when I'm anywhere near the back of the yard. It's when I'm not back there is where all the fun happens, right? So I need to set up surveillance. This is how it's going to be done. Now, as far as my opinion on this particular product, I'm very pleased with it. The only thing that I was a little bit confused on, I couldn't get access because of the passcode wasn't accepting. I'm trying to remember what I did to get through that. I had to change the password because it didn't accept my password the original time. Yes, there is a default password that's in the book. Didn't give me access, but I managed to work around it. I changed the password, entered a new password into it, and it was a similar thing with this. Once I got that part straightened out, I had full access. As you can see, your cameras are working. And let me tell you something, guys. When you're on the road and you're like nervous that somebody might be showing up at your house, or somebody maybe when you walk away, there's people might be going on your property waiting for you to leave, and then they're on your property doing something maybe they shouldn't be doing. There's no better feeling than to be able to sit in a Walmart parking lot and then hit that camera button, turn that thing on, and just kind of see what's going on in your property. Just sit there for a little bit and just, it literally takes away that feeling of being violated. There's no better feeling than knowing that, hey, I can go out now and not worry about somebody doing something that I don't want them to do on my property. No trespassers. So other than that, my opinion on this particular product is it's very good. I definitely recommend it. I like the cameras that I'm looking at here. They have infrared on the bottom. They're a simple type of camera. They're nothing too complex. They're easy to hook up. They're easy to mount. Again, they're plastic, which I like better than metal because metal is heavy. They rot. The other thing is you have an eight. You got a total of eight. You have a total of 8 inputs, and 4 of them are being used. So you can add 4 more if you want to. I personally recommend it. I can't see why you wouldn't want to add 4 more to it. You can also add IP cameras to it. I'm not going to get into how that works. That gets a little bit more complicated, but yeah, you can actually do your IP. You can actually do your IP cameras into the system as well. And basically that's it. So it's definitely worth the buy. Now, if you go to order the system, you're going to want to make sure you order a hard drive. Offhand, I don't know the system you're going. The more cameras you got, the more hard drive capacity you're going to want. You have to look at the details on the size of the drive you need. But yes, it's just a regular, basic, SATA drive like you've seen that I showed you earlier. It's basically the same thing, basic system like that. Can you use solid state in there? I'm pretty sure you could. You have to read those details. I didn't actually read all of that. Definitely recommend it. And so what I'll do is contact the manufacturer. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can buy this product. And if they give me a discount code, I'll just put it on the very top of the description, at the very top, discount code, whatever the percentage is, and you'll be able to enter that code at checkout, and you'll be able to get this system. It's a very, very nice system. It came in the box, nice and neat, no problems. You're very satisfied. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions, just leave them in the description below. I'll do my best to answer them. If I can't, then I'll give you their phone number, and you could call them and then ask them directly. But if you also have experience with this system, feel free to comment below and share your thoughts on it. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.